Yeah, we are live on a Friday morning, 7 a.m. I hope all of you are doing good. I got caught up in conversation and shit like that. So excuse me for being 3 minutes late. If my apology is not enough, I don't give a fuck. Just saying. Where's Alan? Today I'm right here. I know it's on a little bit of delay. Um, Julian, how you doing? He's bald. He's angry. He's covered in tattoos. Let's hear it from Mr. Alan Roberts. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Janet, how are you? Slastukin, what's going on? It's snowing. It's 65 degrees here right now. I'm fucking pissed. That's freezing. It's Julian. It snowed yesterday with the storm, but now it's wet and rainy, which is good. You're the one that chooses to live in Canada. I think it is. Crazy fucking place. Anyway, Tajay, how are you? Brian, what's going on? Cookies. Julia, Hexred. I know. I just got on too. So listen, I a lot talk about fatness and obesity and all that shit. Sheenie Meanie, how you doing? But just to be real, just so everybody understands, Crystal and I are about health, and it just so happens that the predominant issue in America and the UK and Canada is indeed people being fat as fuck. I will also say that I think that a huge portion of the problem in the world is that people are fucking crazy. We are absolutely fucking losing our minds. Like the devolving state of mental health in the world is fucking, like, it's staggering. And it doesn't help that we are all, I don't even have my lights all set up. It doesn't help that we are all fucking, like, the society is pretty much pushing for this shit, you know? I don't understand how some stuff, like, it's this weird thing. There we go. It's this weird thing. I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, as long as nobody is endangered by it, like physically endangered by it. Like, words are not violence. If I say you're fucking ugly, that is not violence. That is just my opinion that you are indeed fucking ugly. If I say that, you know, if I say that men shouldn't be able to use women's restrooms, that's not violence. How are we not missing something? Where's the cat? She's right over here. She'll be over in a little bit. Why so early? 7 a.m. is not early. I normally get up at 4 or 5. 7 a.m. is not early. Anyway, I just, words are not violence. I believe in freedom of speech. I just do think that the pushing of things like fat acceptance, body positivity in its current form, because body positivity in its current form is very, 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 very unhealthy, like massively unhealthy. There is other aspects. My son showed me this topic because he works for us and he helps me with finding topics and research and shit like that. And I just don't. I got to be real. I thought he was fucking with me, because he's my son, and so he has kind of my sense of humor, and so I thought he was just straight up fucking with me. But there is this thing called Junkorexia, and just when I think that we are at like fucking peak, complete, total fucking crazy, ridiculous, completely devoid of personal responsibility, craziness, he shows me dozens and dozens of videos of this insanity, like complete, total fucking craziness, right? And don't get me wrong, you do you, boo. As long as you're not fucking hurting nobody else. If you want to trash your own fucking life, there she is. There's the baby. She just wanted to come say hi. Hi, sweetie. Yes. I know. Good morning. Get the crusties out of your face. You got fluff everywhere. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Okay. But just when I think we've reached like peak, these people can't get any fucking crazier. He shows me this shit. I personally, like I said, if you're not hurting nobody, if it's just you hurting you, you have a right to. But one of the reasons why I get on obesity is because it has shared healthcare costs, and especially after the last after the last 3 years, when the health you went down now already. How about we put you in your chair? There we go. Especially after the last couple of years, if you get yourself sick, it is pressure on our healthcare system. Pressure on our healthcare system is somehow apparently. I've read the Constitution a bunch of times, so I keep missing the fucking clause that makes it so if the hospital system might get full, we lose our rights. But that's what the excuse has been, is that the hospital system might be full, and seeing as how fat people fuck with the hospital system, that's what I'm going to be speaking out. I have been speaking out. I'm going to be speaking out much more vehemently on stop fucking fattening yourself. Unfatten yourself if you're already fat. Let's fucking get real. We try to help people with everything. I don't know how to help these people. This is a mental disorder. We don't do that at our coaching. I will say this, though, by the way, for those of you that didn't hear yesterday, you can get our book, Beyond Willpower, at this link, The Hunger Management Method. It's the outline we use to control my binge eating, and it's the book right up here. No Morbidity will be back in stock probably by early next week. Hearing from Sean later on the day. And Mark later on the day. Product 2 is probably set for release sometime in February, hopefully, depending on trademark and shit like that. And what I did want to show everybody is that right now, the special we're running for New Year's, because people seem to want to get, they wait till New Year's for some reason. We're running 2 specials. There's a 3-month block special for our regular coaching and a 3-month block special for our intensive coaching. Both of those are 3 months for the price of 2. However, we will start you today and let it go through the first 3 months of the year. So you get basically 3.5 months for the price of 2 if you sign up today. There are limited slots for this. And if you realize that the holidays have gotten away from you, we do daily communication with Crystal and I in your own private chat, weekly video consultations. We help you with your macro range. If you count calories, we help you. If you count calories and have been for years, we help you work your way off of that to just a normalized lifestyle where it's not that sort of thing, because counting calories is in fact a crutch. We help you with appropriate fitness level activity, hydration habits, sleep habits, stress relief habits, those sorts of things. We try to help the person build a healthy lifestyle. What's the difference between regular and intensive? Regular is what I just said. Weekly video conference calls, daily communication. You can track, if you do track, you can track all your food right on the app. We basically help the person reset all of their habits to healthier ones, so it doesn't feel like a diet. Satiation, satisfaction. I ask the clients all the time, have you felt very hungry this week? Because if you feel very hungry, if you feel hungry, we have made a mistake. That is a diet. You should always feel satiated. You should always feel satisfied. You should not feel like the workouts are too much. The activity you do should be the activity you love to do. We have people that do everything from just walking in a day to people that are like, we have one client who is about to compete in national strongman. This woman is amazing. And the intensive one is all of that. Plus we help you with your grocery list. And plus there are 2 workouts via Zoom a week, one-on-one, either myself or Crystal with you via Zoom. And we walk you through the workout and help motivate you and push you. So that is the difference. The intense one is there's the addition of pantry help and grocery help and 2 workouts a week, like one-on-one, half-hour, 45-minute workouts a week with either Crystal or myself via Zoom that we help you right in the privacy of your own home. So those are the 2 differences. Please do check that out. Limited slots available. If you get it today, it goes through the first 3 months of the year. So you basically get 3.5 months for the price of 2. Now, that said, I don't think we can help these fucking people. And thank you for asking such. Ken, that was an outstanding question. Notice the kitty mug. We're gonna go just straight to this. I don't even. It's so fucked up. I can't even. I really thought my son was punking me when he showed me this shit. So it is. This is Junkorexia. Now I have to be careful because a lot of these are put to music, and I don't want to get a copyright strike because YouTube's just looking for a fucking reason. It's fucking insanity. I mean, this is fucking full on craziness. What I eat in a day, Tuesday, November 9th, kind of in my Junkorexia era. Watch this shit. Yeah, we can't have the sound on. So a Monster Energy drink. 10:35. So this is what this person's eating in a day. So there's the Monster Energy drink. Then there is the cookies and cream latte. Then there's ice cream. Then there is 2 candy bars. Then there is 2 more candy bars. I don't give a fuck if you call them Fiber One. They're 2 fucking candy bars and another fucking latte. And that's it. And the person walked 15,000 steps. It's 1,059 calories. And it's listing, and the dude's, and it's listing himself as a he, him. Like, that doesn't mean it's actually a fucking him because these people fucking like to suspend reality. This fucked up person said, proud of you. Here's my thing. It's one thing to eat 1,000 calories a day. You know, I mean, sometimes people fast. This could be a day where they just do small calories. If this was all protein and healthy fats, I'm not even like all protein and healthy fats, depending on the type of meat you get, this could be, you know, a pound of fucking meat, a pound of fucking strip of sirloin, you know, plus some vegetables, like for real, right? But it's not. It's all highly inflammatory processed food that is like this person's. This is a recipe for early death, seriously early death. So there's no nutritional value just about in any of this. I'm shocked that they got the Fiber One bar, but besides that, this is almost all sugar, and fucking additives. This is. I mean, look at like you are welcome. I'm proud of you. This is fucked up. Let me see if we can do the sound here. No, we can't. So this is 11:40. First of all, notice how they don't fucking get up early at all. It's like fucking 11:40 in the fucking morning. They're having their first bit of calories. Oh, so at least there's eggs and some ketchup and some stuff there. So this is, I mean, this is healthy compared to, which is looking good so far. Oh, and here we go. Halo top, some tea, another latte, some tea, 1,053 calories. 1,053 fucking calories on a day for this fucking lunatic. I don't even fucking know where to begin. This is what this woman eats in a day. So let's slow this down. She has everyday formula, collagen powder, some omega-3s, clean greens, a tiny little fucking thing of like drinkable yogurt light, a candy bar, and exercise, another fucking fruit snack, some veggies. This is the healthier version I've seen. Looks like a fucking cookie, a candy bar, cold brew with fucking crap in it, more exercise, Let's just fucking this. It's this dude again. Latte, Halo Top, candy, Red Bull, latte, tea. 1,000 calories. It's fucking mind numbing. Okay, thanks. I can't eat if I want to drink my calories. That's fucking crazy. It is an eating disorder. That's just fucking silliness. This is Abby Sharp. If you choose to drink, you still deserve food. She's a fucking whack nut. That Abby Sharp lady. Young TikTokers quickly encountering problematic posts. Researchers said TikTok starts recommending content tied to eating disorders and self-harm to 13-year-olds within 30 minutes of them joining. Good for you for pointing this out, bro. So I thought it would be neat. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go to Junkorexia. I just don't even like fucking Junkorexia screams eating disorder platform. It's so fucking like, how did I not know this was so pervasive? So we've literally gone to the point where, because here's the fucked up thing. Like, I am about health. Don't be fat, don't be too skinny. If you're of a normalized, if you're of a normalized weight, get some fucking help with your food. I don't even fucking understand how we've gotten to the point where it's one thing to do this shit, but for social media outlets to be fucking putting this shit out there and on there, like, come on now. Like, I mean, it's not like they don't all have, this isn't a state of critique. There's people fucking posting that they've eaten 1,000 calories in a day as full-ass grown human being men, getting 15,000 steps. And here's the thing. Even if you're getting 15,000 steps in a day plus other activity and shit like that, 1,000 calories in a day is probably going to have you weigh somewhere around fucking 85 pounds. Like that's not enough calories, especially, and I mean, I really mean this, especially when you have fucking all of the fucking things you're taking in are horrific. The only way I can see the person even normalizing out, if they were a petite woman to around 105 pounds, is if they have metabolic issue, and because eating like the candy bar guy and everything like that is going to make so your muscle mass is damn near non-existent. I mean, your body does not, if you do not have amino acids, your body is not going to hold on to protein. You're going to become sarcopenically ill. It's painful to fucking think about that the people do this to themselves. Again, like, just so everybody, we're super fucking clear. Like, I want you to be healthy. This is very clearly not health. Like, eat some meat, eat some fucking veggies. Like, that's all you really need. While I'll say most fat people don't need processed carbohydrates at all. Processed carbohydrates are for athletes. I'm just going to athletes and special occasions. If daily ingestion of processed carbohydrates, daily ingestion of a food item that is just energy is literally fucking processed carbohydrates on a daily basis are for athletes. They're for people that just need straight energy. They're not for the normal person. I got to take this real quick. Calories in, calories out is so harmful. Reality is harmful? Please elaborate, Tifo, because you kind of lost me on physics is harmful. Thermodynamics is harmful. Like, you realize how stupid that fucking sounds, right? Like, energy balance is harmful. You realize it's fucking moronic, right? Like, we need to enter the realm of reality. That's the biggest problem with society right now, is that we are not living in reality. We are not. Oh, if you only eat sugar. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. Because I was like, what the fuck? But thank you very much for elaborating. What are examples of common processed carbohydrates that people don't realize? Bread, pasta, anything with sugar, those sorts of things. Just in that mindset. Yeah, I thank you very much, Julian. I got that. I appreciate you following up too. What's Beyond Willpower? It's our new book, Beyond Willpower, The Hunger Management Method. It's an outline of the methodology we use to help control my binge eating disorder. I am almost 2 years away from my last binge. 2 years. It's how we developed a method of eating to help me stay satiated, satisfied the whole time. And then we worked it into our actual supplement also towards the end. Like I don't have physical hunger pretty much. I kind of control my calories based on like my actual like nutritional wants and needs at the time for health and stuff like that. I also still do. I mean, I still do have emotional hunger and stuff like that. Stuff that I still watch every day. I treat my binge eating disorder as if it's like an addiction, because that's how I think people should view it. But the book outlines how we developed it, why we developed it, and the basics of it. And it is what we use. The basics. It's what we use for almost all of our clients. It can be very individualized. Please do check it out. You can get it at this link. And again, guys, just so you know, these coaching slots, if you sign up today, you get basically 3.5 months for the price of 2. Looking forward to working with many of you over the course of the next couple months to, in fact, get as healthy as we possibly fucking can. I really, 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 I'm excited to work with some of you guys. Let's see here. I'm gluttoning myself on a healthy lifestyle. That's right. Good for you. Good for you. Alan, do you think fat acceptance movement will still be here 10 to 20 years from now? No. No. I mean, if it is, it's, it'll be actually like lower limb amputation acceptance movement, something like that. Because like in reality, it's already shifting. Like, they've fattened the cows and they're starting to cash in all sorts of weight loss drugs, weight loss surgeries being pushed. And like, that's the thing. Like, people don't get the last couple of years, like setting the precedent that a public health emergency can result in you having, like, you have to do something physically. You have to take something physically. People not seeing the precedence of that being super, super, super bad is kind of fucking crazy, especially in the era that they're talking about with like, it's climate change and with, food shortages and shit like that. And the tremendous like correlation of, not correlation, the tremendous fact of healthcare expenditure and illness and obesity. They could very much mandate weight loss. I mean, they literally, for real, they were trying to mandate people take an experimental therapy. And in some cases, many places still are. Like, you have to have this experimental therapy injected into you to get into the fucking country. And to set the precedent that they can make you do shit based off of health is horrific. If I was I fucking have a video saying, what if they would mandate health? Because it is not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, it's just not. It's very, 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 very possible, to tell you the truth. And I really feel that people need to wake up and really realize that, in fact, it could end up being a horrible, horrible thing. I really worry for how people are viewing this, like especially the fat acceptance movement. If you look online, most of the people in the fat acceptance movement, I think the oldest you find is like 35, 40. And the ones that are over 40, like that one lady, Kat something, she was like 44, dead. You know, like 40-year-olds that weigh 300 pounds are, that's it gets rarer and rarer and rarer. 40-year-olds that aren't on literally massive amounts of medication to keep them alive are almost non-existent, that weigh 300 pounds. So in 10 to 20 years, when all these 25 and 30-year-olds who weigh 400 fucking pounds or 300 pounds and are saying how gorgeous I am for this, that, the other thing, like it's going to be like in the next 5-10 years, a lot of this shit's going to be embarrassing, especially because so many of these people put this shit online talking about how awesome they are and sexy and fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck what you look like. We're so obsessed with how people look. It's crazy. I mean, at some stage, like it's this thing. A huge amount of attraction is biological and evolutionarily driven. A huge amount, right? That's what they're trying to say is fat phobic. It is. Like, I mean, people like I'm not saying fat phobia is an actual thing, but people are hardwired to not want to mate with fat people. It's not mean to say, it's truthful, and it's an evolutionary thing, because, and it's unfortunate that it's about to be proven over the course of the next 5, 10, 15 years, because these people are all going to die, especially like fucking, it seems to be a direct correlation with these folks are, don't tell me anything about my health, but you better take this injection for my health to protect me. You know, it seems to be a very serious correlation between that crazy shit. And this is not going to work out well for people. Like, this is not going to be something that is in any way healthy for folks. Like, we're at the stage right fucking now that people absolutely, you know, and so many people you can go on TikTok, Instagram, you can go and see these people scrambling in their brain, just completely scrambling to try to find any fucking reason why they are actually okay. They literally try to find any reason at all that they're not in very serious physical jeopardy. You want to show me that you're healthy? You want to show me that you're fine? Video yourself laying down on the ground, like putting yourself laying flat on your back on the ground and then standing back up. Video how long it takes you to lay yourself onto the ground, flat on your back, and get the fuck up. Send it to me. And any fat acceptance advocate that hates me, send me that video and I'll shut the fuck up. Send me the video of you doing that in a way that if there was a fucking fire or an emergency or some sort of natural disaster, that you wouldn't be a danger to people trying to get around you, away, you know, shit like that. Like, if a fat person falls down on an airplane, in an airplane aisle when we're trying to evacuate it, it could kill dozens of people. Because if you can't get around the person, and the plane's on fire, people die. Like, if you can't get through a doorway, you know, readily. I mean, I know this. People are like, oh, that would never happen. It happens all the fucking time. Like, we are literally at a stage where we're trying to pretend that people are not risking their own lives, risking themselves for, you know, like, you know, it's bad for you, and we're trying to lie as a society. It's fucking patheticness. It's really sadness. And I mean, I get it that you don't want to admit you fucked up, and I admit it that you don't want to admit that there's something wrong with you. And would it help? Like, hey, you're pretty. There, I called you pretty. Now will you lose fucking weight? I mean, what the fuck? You know? I mean, what do we need to do here? But again, like I challenge everybody to this. I tell you what. Here are the deals again for our coaching. When this is done, when we're done talking here, because don't leave right now, that'd be rude. But when we're done, video yourself. Set up your phone on a table or something like that, and have it video you laying down on the ground, flat on your back, like start the video, walk away, get yourself fully in frame, lay down on the ground onto your back, and then try to get back up. If you can view that video and think that you are not somehow encumbered, good for you. But if you have a hard time getting your ass back up off the ground, the links to our coaching are right in there. We can, in 3 months, we can make it so there'll be a dramatic change in that, with a much healthier relationship with food, for sustainable, continued weight loss and sustainable, continued increased health. Because if you can't get yourself up off the fucking ground, you need to start asking yourself some fucking questions. For real. Especially if you're in your fucking 30s and you have a hard time getting your ass up off the ground, that's not going to get better. Unless you make a change, it's not going to get better. Be realistic. It's time to actually like grow the fuck up a little bit, you know? Let's see. Question. Obese person with sugar addiction can only afford either Ember or No Morbidity. Which one is the best on its own? I would take No Morbidity. Sugar addiction, I got to be real. The product 2 will be your fucking thing, because that's what it's actually designed to combat, is sugar addiction. You know, when the guys from Ambrosia came to Crystal and I after No Morbidity launched, and they were like, what next? You know, because they saw, like, I mean, it's not sports nutrition; it's a whole different market. And they were like, what's next? And Crystal was like, it's got to be for sugar addiction. It's something to help with blood sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity, that sort of thing. So, but Heather, I would definitely say it would be. I would definitely say it would be No Morbidity. Absolutely. The 2 of those. So, and the thing is, I love Ember. Don't get me wrong, but Ember is not for everybody, especially if you're obese. In fact, as a matter of fact, I got to take my Ember right now. Ember is not necessarily for everybody. Oh, that's a whole one. Woo, I had a half tab in here. You got to fucking take. There we go. But Ember is amazing, but it's not for everybody. And the reason why it's not for everybody is because literally it's very high stimulant. And if you're obese, your heart's already working much harder than likely should be, because it's having to push. It's having to push more blood around and more body than it was designed to do so. So it also might spike your blood pressure a little bit and all like that. And the idea is to be healthy. The idea is to get healthy and stay healthy, not just lose weight. Now, once you get down in weight a little bit, both of them together are fucking crazy, because both of them together, like, it pretty much eliminates hunger, you know? Yeah, I made a mistake the other day. I had some 12-grain bread and I could just taste the sugar on that, so I threw it out. And that's another thing too. Like, people, like, healthy breads are still cake. In America, especially, healthy bread is still cake. No matter how you look at it, there's still plenty of sugar added to it. Like, it's still fucking cake. Haven't made it live at ages. What's going on, Angela? Pleasure to have you. Erica, totally. I'm pretty wild about your taste buds changing when you change how you eat. Stuff I used to eat on the regular now tastes so sweet that it's gross. Yeah, I noticed that too. Crystal really has like is very sensitive to sweet shit. It's not like she can't, like, most desserts are way too sweet for her. You can't get into America without one, or I believe you can't get into you unless they change that. Well, I think that's it. I think you have to have a job to get in still. To anyone that actually practiced Junkorexia, please know that there is a way out, but you have to go cold turkey. Absolutely. Makes it easier to avoid. The sad reality is that the people don't want health or health. Yeah, they don't. They do. I mean, it's like, you know, these people are hurting themselves on camera. It's something we should do something about, you know? Treat junk food like it's crack. It's an addiction, absolutely. Wow, I didn't know that. I'm shocked by that. New Zealand doesn't require vaccines to get in. Biology is now dismissed as discrimination. No kidding. Isn't that crazy? Damn. Yes, hit the like button, but also hit the subscribe button. And please do go buy the book or get some coaching. This 2023 is going to be a big year. Unfortunately, cat hair. Unfortunately, I missed this live due to meeting. Just wanted to pop in. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. Said that Nomo has been working great for me. Down 10 pounds in 1 month, 45 more to go. Boom, Mel. Fucking awesome. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. These people are only so confident behind a screen. That's the thing, too. Like, I mean this, like, to any fat acceptance advocate, just video yourself laying down on the ground and getting back up. You know? Video yourself laying down on the fucking ground and getting the fuck back up. It should be a wake-up call when half of the species doesn't want to mate with the other half. It should be a wake-up call. Flailing like turtles. It will be bad. Like, that's people don't like. A lot of times, since it's not a daily necessity, people don't like. When was the last time you just laid on the ground? Like, I do it all the time for yoga and shit like that. But when was the last time that most of these people just laid on the ground? They put themselves on the ground and got back up. When was the last time they thought about how long it takes them to do so? Like, that's the fucking thing where if it takes you an inordinate amount of time to get off the ground, if you're young and you can't just spring the fuck up, like, I'm 51 years old. I'm about to be 52. I can still fucking spring off the ground. I can literally do a fucking kip up still easily. Like, I mean, I don't expect people to be like me because I do fitness for a fucking living and I'm a pretty gifted natural athlete. But if you are fucking in your 20s and you're so fat that when you lay down, it's a struggle to get back up off the ground, you need to unfuck yourself in a fucking hurry because that shit's not going to get better. I mean, it's just not going to get better. I mean, how you've gotten there is a sad story. You thinking it's not a problem, even sadder, slightly delusional. But hey, just start asking questions too. I'll take any questions about anything you want. We got a little bit of time this morning, so we could even do this. If you want to join the chat, there's the link. You have to have the camera on. Alan, in an OBC revision for this year, they have increased the minimum width of barrier-free doors from 3 feet to 3 feet 4 inches. That's sad. Yoke Nick, heading off to the gym soon. Good for you, man. Replay gang, just did 5 miles at the gym. Have a great day. You too. Thank you. Bonus points if you can get up without using your arms. Absolutely. I mean, I can do, like, you should film technically it's the stand-up test where it's like you cross your legs, sit down, and stand up. If you can do that, it's like you live like 20 fucking years longer than the average person. Wish I had a vid of that when I was still fat. It's interesting. We actually have people that have joined our coaching because of it. It's one of the reasons why I put it out. Most people are encumbered by the thought of exercise, let alone doing it. Exactly. Let's see. I knew construction would change because the population size has increased, but it also causes problems for the older structures and safety. It's a rabbit hole. I can imagine. OBC is the Ontario Building Code, so by law they have to increase the width. That's fucking crazy. Because doorways are normally seen as like supporting structure. That's fucking nuts. I have budgeted to get product too. It should be about the same price as either Ember or No Morbidity, somewhere in between probably. Product 2 sounds great. I've been struggling with sugar addiction since I was a kid. It's an uphill battle. Zarlexol, we can help you. Our coach, Crystal, does amazing, and I give her all the credit. Crystal does amazing things with sugar addicts. So that's one of the reasons why she suggested it. But there's a link to our coaching. You basically get 3.5 months for the price of 2 right now if you sign up today. And there's 2. tiers, by the way. The first one is it's daily communication, weekly video conference calls. We adjust your lifestyle bit by bit with a focus on satiation, satisfaction, appropriate fitness level activity. The next one also includes that. Plus, we help you with your pantry, your grocery shopping, and literally have 2 live workouts one-on-one via Zoom with you a week. So please do check that out. And like I said, Crystal does amazing, amazing work with sugar addicts. Amazing. It will literally designate all new places to be open, new spaces due to code compliance with no doors, probably. Yeah, fucking crazy shit. Crazy shit. I enjoy Ezekiel bread when I do have bread. It's still cake. It's still cake. Would you recommend a healthy bread if there's such a thing? Nope, I would not. I would suggest you look at bread as something eaten just for pleasure, because that's what it is. It's something eaten just for pleasure. It is complete processed carbohydrate, no matter what the fuck it's made of. It's fucking, they take a substance, they strip out all the nutrients, they fucking condense it down, and then they make it into another fucking substance. It is a processed carbohydrate. Any bread. Ezekiel bread is better than other breads, but it's still a processed carbohydrate. Should be eaten on occasion just for pleasure. You may have said this before I arrived, but the last I heard, Morbidity might be back in stock today. It's likely early next week. I'm waiting to hear from Sean today. We do have it. We do have it at Vitamin Shop, unless Vitamin Shop is probably running low too right now. Once you get out of the sugar, everything is way too sweet. Exactly. A slice of Jiffy cornbread now tastes like unfrosted birthday cake. I can totally relate. How do you create a healthy relationship with the scale when starting major weight loss? Depends if you're male or female. First of all, set limits on how much you're going to weigh yourself. Weighing yourself daily is fucking stupid. Like that Noom product makes people weigh themselves daily. That is fucking moronic. The body fluctuates way too much in terms of hydration, how much food and waste mass you have in you, those sorts of things. Weigh yourself over a period of time. We suggest 1 week for males, 2 weeks for women. Women should try to weigh themselves at the same hormonal levels, meaning it's best to weigh yourself in between your ovulation and your menstruation. I don't weigh myself at all. A healthy relationship with the scale is, really not needing to weigh yourself all that much. Once you get to a healthier weight, you can kind of go off the mirror and go from there. A healthy relationship with the scale should be one where you don't think you need to step on it because you're already healthy. Now, to get there, just understand that is just data. It's just a data point. Don't weigh yourself after you've eaten a big meal. Don't weigh yourself the day after you've binged. Don't weigh yourself the day after a holiday or a feast. Weigh yourself consistently every 2 weeks. If you have a binge right before, don't weigh yourself to check the damage. That is just mental abuse. It is ridiculously just mentally abusive. This is a fabulous question. I'm glad you asked it, but please, please understand that number is just a representation of a moment in time. It is a representation of what you've eaten over the course of a period of time compared to the last time, but it's also a representation of just that moment in time. That's it. And we work with people on that too. So we basically have them weigh in once every 2 weeks for a little while. Women, that is, once every 2 weeks for a little while, and then once a month for a while. Like we even have male clients that once we find the sweet spot, once you're losing weight while not feeling like on a diet, like once you're surprised that you've lost weight, then we have it so it's once a month for them too, then once every 2 months, and we have somebody. Oh, she's joining. Okay, excellent. Give me a second. How you doing? How do I pronounce that, by the way?
Shanaz.
Shanaz, how are you? Pleasure to meet you. I'm Alan Roberts.
I thought I would join. It's probably easier.
So was I explaining that thoroughly to you? Like how often do you weigh yourself right now? Let's go with that.
Usually twice a week. But
Okay.
I wait every Sunday to have the data to see in time. I record once a week. Let me put it like that.
Okay.
But then I'm around 300 pounds still. And I don't understand why it's not moving for 2 weeks. And I've increased exercise. So I understand that it's not going to be like that forever. But at this weight, it's weird that it's not moving.
Okay. A few basic questions before we get to anything else. How much
Yes.
fluid are you taking in? How many ounces?
I use metrics. Is this 2 to 3
Use metrics. Give me metrics. It's fine.
2 to 3 liters, at least 2. I try. I'm not getting above 3.
Okay. I would suggest you set 3 as your base,
Okay.
and then work between 3 and 4. And then once you get between 3 and once you get comfortable there, set 4 as your base, and then move up. Like most people need what would be considered an ounce per pound of body mass. 4 liters is about a gallon. It's 128 ounces. So I would say that you're in a state where you're a little dehydrated, and not to mention that, but the more fluid you take in, the less hungry you'll be, because it's volume basically, and you'll sleep better. It's better for your skin, those sorts of things. And by the way, this is me looking at the camera. This is me looking at you. Okay. And to any of all my clients know I say that, because when I'm talking to somebody on camera, because I do this a lot. I talk to clients all day long, most days. My ADHD will take over, and it drives me crazy. But I would suggest you're weighing yourself too much. Okay. Don't ever weigh yourself on your cycle ever, because statistically, women can gain up to 5 to 10% of their body mass just in extraneous held on fluid right before their cycle or during their cycle. It depends on the woman too. Some women don't hold that water. Some women do. You probably noticed that in your data, because you say you use it as data collection points, and they'll be like, well, you're getting ready for your cycle. And even though you know in your head it's because of your cycle, anytime when you feel like you have been hungry or something like that, and that number goes up a little bit, like you're like, man, I've worked out really hard all week. I've watched what I've eaten. Why did I gain a pound? It's literally just because you're holding on extra mass. Now, since you're kind of a bigger woman, the hydration weight or anything like that, like you could have a high sodium meal on Saturday and hold on to every ounce of fluid you have in you and gain 2 pounds. You know what I mean? So that's an issue. I would definitely, if I was you, keep the every Sunday thing, but make sure it's every 2 Sundays.
Okay.
And pick the 2 Sundays that are in between your menstruation and your ovulation. Okay. Because that way, that's a true number, as close to the same variables as possible. It's for men, there's not really a hormonal cycle. Some men argue that there is, and blah, 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 but it doesn't physiologically affect us nearly as much as it does women. For you, there's so much hormonal change that goes on, especially and what people don't realize too, this is actually even more of a problem for women that have extra fat on them, because fat is in fact estrogenic. So when your hormones, when you're ready for your cycle, it can even have you retain even more proportionally fluid than other people, than thinner people. Then when you lose weight, it won't be as much. It's still going to be some. You still should not weigh yourself on your cycle or on your ovulation. It's not a real number. This is what I'm saying. Okay. Make sure you do it the same way every time. Try to make sure, since you do it on Saturday, make sure your Sunday. Try to make sure your Saturday meal, your last Saturday meal, is kind of the same. Basic composition, hydration, not hydration wise, but sodium wise and stuff like that too. Stuff that would cause you to retain fluid. Same way every morning, bathroom trip, then weigh yourself, wearing the same things or nothing, something like that. Okay. Once you get it to the point where you're consistently losing anywhere, for you, we would probably gear, if you were my client right now, which I would, and this is not me to pitch my shit, but you're 300 pounds and struggling, we could definitely help you. I mean, we could absolutely definitely help you. I would have you, once we get to the point where you're losing between 1.5 pounds and 2.5 pounds a week consistently, 2 weeks over 2 weeks, we would then move to 1 month. Okay. Because the idea is, and this is the thing that I think people don't get about me, right? I know it's a struggle for you. I don't think there's one 300-pound person that does not want to lose weight. When they're really honest with themselves in the mirror, I mean, I know this. I've been big. I know what it's like. It's not fun. Cat hair. Sorry. But the constant beating up, the constant pushing for it, it needs to become much more of a wow, I lost weight type thing.
Yeah.
Are you extremely hungry most of the time trying to lose weight?
No, I eat low carb, so it's usually around lunch. I don't track because I don't want to get too obsessive
No,
about
that's
it.
awesome.
I
That's
eat
awesome.
meat.
That's all.
I don't eat red meat, so lunch is usually uh, chicken and vegetables, and at 6 to 8 at night I eat the same thing. And
Right.
I don't like snacking, so that's why it was confusing to me because if you're eating low carb, usually there's not much water retention. Um, I'm not snacking that much, so I was worried.
You're low carb, but you are technically what I would call classically dehydrated. I mean, like like you're not taking in nearly enough fluid,
Okay.
like
Okay.
nearly enough. Like you should take in roughly about 100. You should take in as a minimum about 4.5 to 5 liters is like of fluid
Okay.
to be considered at the minimum of hydration. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here's where it gets a little sticky, right? Because you're like what you would end up weighing likely. How tall are you?
170s, around 5'6", I think.
Around 5'6". So between like about 100, like the range is probably somewhere between 115 to 160 pounds. Is the healthiest range, right? Now, granted, since you've been a little bigger, like maybe 5'10", 5'10" extra pounds of loose skin, just in case, you'll end up being somewhere around 160, 165 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So I would shoot for, between 4 and 5 liters a day of hydration at your end. Don't try to just do that today. You will fucking hate me and you will not come back to ever talk to me again. Yeah, very good. But if you try to just all of a sudden go from 2 to 3 liters, you and slam 5, you'll fucking hate me. It won't be fun at all. So,
Well, the funny
but
thing is, I started a month ago, and I bought this. It's a 2-liter bottle one, and only after a month I started getting thirsty of doing this consistently
Mhm.
for 2 to 3 liters a day. Because before that I wasn't thirsty at all.
Yeah,
So it really helps. And I think in the first month I lost, I don't know, 2 kilos a week, which is again 4 to 5 pounds.
yeah.
And
And then
then
it
for
just
two
stalled.
weeks, yeah. And because the first month I said I wanted to focus on nutrition and the food, and in the second month I would go swimming twice a week and to the gym twice a week. So that's what I've done this week and last week. And the moment I started that, it all stalled. So
Are you
I
sore?
know, not really.
No. Okay,
I like swimming. I swim for an hour and it's not hard.
that's
So
awesome. That's awesome.
uh, but
The-
I don't know. I know it's not realistic, but it's annoying.
Oh no, I mean, I can totally. When the scale doesn't move, it is annoying, But I will say this: you beating yourself up by weighing yourself twice a week does not change that. It does not change the reality of it, right? Again, that's one of the reasons why, because it can be demotivating too. Like that's where you're at right now, where it's kind of a demotivational type thing, where, like why the fuck isn't this working? If you were our client, what we would have you do is send a picture of your food, everything you eat to us, every meal, and then I would have you gear your hunger in between meals. In the chat, it would be a chat with just Crystal and I, but also we would definitely work on your hydration, your sleep, your stress relief, and then we would see where it goes from there. Your body your muscles just might be filling out a little bit with extraneous fluid, because if you didn't work out for a while and then all of a sudden you're working out now, even without soreness, a lot of that could be just like glycogen refilling in your muscles and everything like that. Like if you feel like a little bit extra tightness, that could be why the scale's not moving too much. I would imagine it should still be moving depending on the calories you're eating. Like I haven't seen your food, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will say that, it sounds to me like you're on a consistent path of building healthy habits, which is amazing. I just so you can see this, you started losing weight at a good clip when you started increasing your fluid. And if you do that again, I would honestly think that, first of all, it would help fill you up a little bit and you might be able to cut your calories a little bit more. Honestly, you should be taking in somewhere between, we would probably put you somewhere between right now, 1,700 to 2,100 calories
Oh,
a day.
I'm much lower. I think I'm between 12 and 1,600 a day because
That's where you would actually like kind of end up, like towards the end. Don't change what I said until the scale starts moving again. But I would honestly say that so wait, you're eating 12 to 1,600 calories when you're completely satiated.
yeah, because it's chicken and veggies, so it's
Okay.
not.
Okay. So yeah, if you are eating a normal sized portion of chicken and veggies, I would argue that this is probably a hydration thing, that the scale hasn't moved for you in like a week or so. and just let's increase your hydration a little bit, and let's go from there. And again, I still think somebody of your side, don't rush this. Okay, like enjoy the process. Build in the swimming, build in the hydration, everything like that. Look for what your habits are going to end up being. And again, like I really think we can help you through coaching, especially through the next couple months.
Okay.
And if you don't take us up on that offer, please do join the chat again whenever I have one of these, and let's in a couple weeks, and let's see what the difference is. Okay.
Okay.
Because
do you have clients in Europe also with the time difference? Does that work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I normally like many days of the week. I take conference calls right now. Like, I mean, like I work basically. Crystal and I work basically from like 6 a.m. till like 6, 7 at night every night our time. So, and we do a lot of reason why we do that is because we do have many international clients. I have people all the way from Australia, New Zealand. I got a couple in Korea. I have several that are in Eastern Europe, like Russia, places like that, Bolivia, bunch in UK, bunch in California, so all around the world. Yeah. So,
do we have time for a last question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know it sounds really bad to say, but in the past, when I was eating what I wanted, I didn't really have much food guilt. I think I asked once in a while that I don't know if it was binging. I was just eating a lot of stuff without knowing how many calories is in there. And now, because I'm really focused on not snacking, even if I eat a snack, I'm starting to feel really guilty about it. And I don't want to create unhealthy patterns in the process of becoming healthy. How do you
so coaching wise, and that's I would suggest you get our coaching because one of the things we do is we have like a planned pleasure meal. Basically, we don't call it a cheat meal because there's no cheating. Like your body knows the fucking calories. Like there's no cheating, right? But a planned pleasure meal, we help the person set up like when you're going to go out and have certain items. Like I have a rotation of pleasure meals. Like frozen yogurt's one of them, and I once every week or two, I'll have one of these things, and it's normal. And we have like kind of a whole procedure depending upon the person and what you have access to, make sure you have it out, that sort of thing. The idea is, and this is especially dangerous at the holidays because people get so caught up at the holiday, like Christmas holiday fucked with people because they feel guilty about eating foods on a holiday. I've had people be like, what should I take to Christmas dinner? Like, if you don't eat what your mama makes you, I'm going to be very fucking upset.
Yeah,
like if your mama cooks for you, you should eat that shit. Now don't get me wrong, everybody, and this is for everybody on the holiday, make sure that you focus on the proteins first, fill up on that. And then make sure you have good, the good sides first. And then the pleasurable sides, you have a smaller portion towards the end and even dessert towards the end. It's a holiday, right? What you do the next day, you make sure that you have your food planned out for the next day to make sure it's right back on track, make sure it's procured, make sure it's easily accessible, because the next day, especially if you eat a lot of food the day before that you're not used to eating, you might not feel great. And the idea of cooking might be like, I'll just order food. And then it starts this tumbling effect, right? Yeah. But for the pleasure food aspect too, that's a portion of building a healthy lifestyle that Crystal and I do in our coaching. That's one of every single client we have, unless it is a binge trigger, nothing should be off the menu. Like I eat, there's several things I don't eat. Anything with anything with flour in it, because gluten destroys my stomach, and peanut M&Ms. I mean, because they're a binge trigger for me. Those are the things I don't eat. And this is no shit. If I didn't have problems with gluten, I would occasionally probably still have something with bread in it. It would still just be an occasional thing, but it wouldn't be all the time. But I would still do that if it didn't literally hurt my stomach. So and like I said, the links are in the chat. I really suggest we could really help you and put you on a good path. So I look forward to talking to you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Nope, no problem. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oop. All right, let's get to a few other questions here. Haven't done a kip up in years. Those used to be fun. Exactly. When's product 2 coming out? Hopefully the first quarter of the fiscal year, or at the very latest, the first quarter of the fiscal year. Getting ready to start Ember since it's pretty high stim. Would it be better to start with a half tab? I just took a half tab a little bit ago. I take a half tab in the morning, a half tab in the early afternoon, and then no morbidity in the early evening. So yes. Hey, Alan, been doing keto for a while. Been thinking about doing lean mass bulk. What should my macros be? focus on protein, healthy fat first, vegetables, you're good. I mean, keto is normally pretty protein heavy to begin with. I wouldn't be able to tell you your macros by just hearing what diet you're on and what you plan on doing, because I have no idea how much you weigh, no idea how tall you are, no idea how long you've been lifting, nothing like that. So, but if you're doing keto, don't get too caught up in the whole macros thing. If you're already doing keto, it's already pretty protein, healthy fat focused forward, and you ought to be pretty good. I'm a 58-year-old woman, and I can still get up off the ground without using my arms. That is fucking outstanding, Lisa. Flozer, Alan, what's your opinion on labeling food labeling food excesses like fat, sugar, sodium, so when you go to the store to buy them, you can be aware of this? People should be aware already. I mean, ignorance is not an excuse as far as I'm concerned. Read everything that's on the package. Now, don't get me wrong. The constant changing of the name of different types of processed, like high fructose corn syrup has like 52,000 fucking names, but it just gets much easier when you stick with vegetables, fruits, and meats and eggs. It just gets much, much, much easier. Coming in late, we'll rewatch. Thank you, Elizabeth. Is product 2 non-stim? Product 2 is also non-stimulant. Yes. Most of mine, like mine and Crystal stuff, will be non-stimulant for the most part, because in reality, our bread and butter, so to speak, is obese people, and very obese people when they're first starting out shouldn't do high stimulant at all, because I mean your heart's already working extra hard. So, sorry guys, I have to go. No problem. What's your opinion on biking? On biking as a starter for exercise? I love biking. I think it's good. It's non-impactful. Just be careful. Wear a helmet. Watch your traffic signs. You know. I'm happy that my mother didn't allow sugar and white flour when I was growing up. Your mom did a great fucking job. Alan, check out Base Culture. Is it like a channel or something like that? I don't know. I remember my family paying for me to a nutritionist when I was younger, and he told me all about Ezekiel bread and the GI index is the only thing that makes you fat. Just made me paranoid even more. That's Jesus. Alan, just clarify. I agree. I don't eat Ezekiel bread every day. Usually one. Yeah, absolutely. What's your choice? I mean, as it's still cake. But if you fit it in and you can eat it in portion, absolutely. What about women with irregular cycles? I would still try to make sure you try to get it in between your ovulation and menstruation. Nowadays, because of the jibby jab, so many people have irregular cycles. It's kind of crazy. But I would just make sure you're not like on your cycle, and if possible, not ovulating when you weigh. I heard Noom's in legal trouble because the customers thought they'd get mental health therapy the way it was advertised, and now the employees are traumatized by the work they did. I can imagine they are. Like that's why we don't fire clients, but many times in a week I'll be like, that's something for your therapist, because I'm a habit coach and a weight loss coach. I'm not a therapist. Like I shouldn't be giving anybody fucking therapy. That's for fucking sure. Yeah, I have a paleo pumpkin bread, but it's dessert and it's 4 grams of sugar in it. That sounds about right for dessert. Exactly. I don't think people should really weigh themselves religiously. Absolutely not. It's an exercise in mental punishment. Never thought of it as a mental torture, yet it did make me feel a bigger failure. Absolutely. Weighing yourself consistently is not healthy. A liter per live stream is my personal rule. That's awesome. Good for you. I like that. Fluid intake is a game changer. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I have the same issue. The scale will stay the same exactly for 4 or 5 days. Then 2 pounds will fall off over the next 2 or 3 days. Delayed you shouldn't weigh yourself every day. And that's hydration. You shouldn't weigh yourself every day. How can I tell what is loose skin versus actual fat? Loose skin is almost empty and just loose skin. You know, if it still has like meat to it, it's fat. That's also a very fucking good point. Our water attitude like Crystal Light, water additives, I think you meant by like Crystal Light, tell me increase my fluid intake. I have no problem with that. I do think it should be a minority of the fluid you would take in, maybe tea instead, like a herbal tea, like sun tea. Crystal makes for us fairly often down here because we're in Florida and it's sunny all the fucking time. But I also do highly suggest that if you do have anything like that and it tastes sweet, you have that later on the day just to break up the monotony as like a little extra flavor change. If you start your day off with something that tastes sweet, chances are you're gonna get hungry, and that's not a good thing. Let's see. All right, we're at the end of the questions. Does anybody else have any final questions before I hop off for the day? I will probably be live at some point in time tomorrow. It might be early, but we have plenty of. We're doing something with the family tomorrow. Very excited, very, very, very excited. So please do let me know if anybody else has any final questions. I once again want to remind everybody, here is where you can get the book Beyond Willpower, which is right up here, The Hunger Management Method. It is an outline of what we do. It also gives you the app for a month for free. You get access to live or pre-recorded classes from Crystal. She's going to be teaching a class here just in a couple fucking minutes. Not a couple fucking minutes, a couple fucking hours at 11. I'm going to be doing consultations until then. Again, those are our New Year's specials, by the way. If you sign up today, it's basically 3.5 months for the price of 2 for either of our intensive coaching or our accountability coaching. So please do check that out. Let's see here. You are very, very welcome. I look forward to talking to you. I've been 170 pounds for about 2 months. Anything I can do to help that along? I'm 5'8". If you're 170 pounds for 2 months, you're eating an energy level. You're eating an energy expenditure has you at 170 pounds. So one of those two things needs to change. I highly suggest that we can help you with our coaching, because very realistically, we can help you reduce down the calories that you're probably taking in and still stay satiated and satisfied and lead a happy, healthy life and just drop into the extra weight you need to drop and move on from there. I may be going to cross-country skiing tomorrow. Good for you, man. Tips what to do with a cold. I went to the gym this morning. You shouldn't, if you have a cold, you shouldn't be at the gym. And I'm just going to be very honest. That's not polite to do to other people at the gym. If you are sick, stay the fuck in. A mask won't help. Nothing like that. If you're sick, stay the fuck in. It's because this is a constant thing that we've been known about. But what you should do is hydrate really, really well. I do take extra vitamin D and stuff like that. But working out when you have a cold, that does not help by any stretch of the imagination. I have MS and it's damaged some colon and stomach nerves. I can't get satiated. How should I go about food? If you can't get satiated because of colon damage and stomach nerves, that's something you're gonna have to talk to your doctor about. I have no, like, that's more along the lines of a medical thing. Oh, you have your own gym. I gotcha. Yeah. I would, a sauna might help more than anything. But extra hydration, rest, make sure you're that sort of thing. Is there any problems with taking Ember in the AM and no morbidity in the PM? That's what I do. That's literally what I do. Let's see. You said in the past that you have a monthly thing for the app for like $10 a month or so. Is that true? How do I get it? Hang on a second. It is absolutely true, and I shall get it for you right here. One more second. I'm looking for the link. I will find it. Sorry it's taking me so long. Hang on, I can find it right here. Here it is. There we go. For those of you looking to just join the app for the Hunger Management Group and the classes, it is right there. Please do join. We look forward to working with you. And like I said, Crystal is teaching. Hang on a second. I'll tell you what she's teaching here in a second. Crystal is teaching Tabata strength and cardio here at 11 o'clock. It is a fabulous fucking class. You guys will fucking love it. It is for all. My wife is a fucking amazing fitness instructor. Her classes are for all levels, like beginner all the way up to advanced. Get good workouts. She's truly amazing. Like all of her classes are just fucking amazing. Let's see. How does it feel to be changing people's lives for the better? You know, I mean, if it's very rewarding. That's very rewarding. I can honestly say this. One of the things that got us hooked on it, or got me hooked on it, was the very first email I got was from somebody that said, "Hey, because of you, I'm able to play with my kids again. I got my life back." That kind of hooks you. You know, it really, really does. Um, in I in the last couple of years, it's been tough. You know, because like when there's a open, avid push to ignore health, it just makes it tough. You know, like I see all these people, and don't get me wrong, like they annoy the fuck out of me, but I see all these fat activists and fat acceptance people in full, not only just in full on denial, but like hurting themselves and hurting their audiences, and like in a very, they're so sure of themselves that there's nothing wrong with being 300 pounds. I'll say to all of them again, video yourself laying down on the ground and getting your fat ass back up. Let's see. Let's hear you talk all confident after that. You know. In fact, I'm going to be making a video about. I'm going to be making that video here shortly because it's just true. Like, I mean, it's just it doesn't make sense at all. But it feels good. But it's been frustrating the last couple of years. I make sure to eat high protein in the morning so I feel fuller, but I feel hungry after about 2 hours later again. Why is this? If you eat high protein and you're hungry 2 hours later, you are either mistaking thirst for hunger, which you should be taking in about 170 ounces of fluid per a day. I would suggest that at least 125 of that is before your midday, because you said you're at 170 pounds. And if that's the case, I would wonder what you're eating with the high protein. If you're eating something that has sugar in it or tastes sweet or something like that, and it's causing some sort of glycemic response in your body, and insulin reaction is causing you to be hungry. I wish I could rest, but I have an exam. I got you. I've heard necking up colds. I don't know. It's just, I mean, there's nothing wrong with resting. Anyway, you're amazing, but thanks. I'm down 80 pounds, 40 more to go. Boom. Outstanding. Great goddamn job, Em. Great fucking job. Hi, Alan. I was able to catch my first live. Love your channel, and the cursing is a plus. Thank you, Alicia. I fucking appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. The fat acceptance, the FA hasn't hit the 40s. They haven't. It will be bad when they do. What news source do you recommend for data regarding COVID? Every time I try to look up studies you reference, I come up with empty-handed, and I only get the Fauci 11 sites. Well, Andrea, a huge portion of what I did at the very beginning was actually just look at the CDC data. And I can tell you to a great degree that the data that they actually showed to terrify people was the data that I looked at that totally made me realize that it was not that dangerous. I'm just, like when in by the way, New York, when all this first started, New York was publishing daily a breakdown of the people that passed away with comorbidities and without comorbidities. And without comorbidities, it was like nothing, And to me, I was just like, why are we fucking destroying lives and destroying the economy when we could just have people that are immunocompromised shelter in place if they want to? If they wanted to, they could just shelter in place. Everybody else go about your fucking business. This is the first time in the history of the fucking country where people were not allowed to accept risk for themselves. And I just find that crazy. But I still use the CDC data, which is, I keep it in mind, is massively inflated. It's massively inflated. There's people that are listed as passing away from the vid, that passed away from gunshots. And that's the truth. It's insanity, But also Dr. Peter McCullough, Ryan Cole, there's many, many, many people, tons of studies. Follow me on Twitter. I reshare a lot of that stuff on there too. So And it seems to be I am out of questions. So going once, going twice. I am going to be gone for the rest. Gone for the day. I'll be posting videos and shit like that. But Crystal and I are going to go out in this afternoon and have a good time. And I'm not going to be answering my phone at all this evening because I miss my wife. I know it sounds crazy. We fucking are in the same house all the goddamn time, but that's how busy the both of us are at this point in time in our lives. So I cannot absolutely wait to turn my phone the fuck off and not deal with shit. Have a good day. We have one or two more questions and then I'll be done. How much water should I be drinking? I'm 6'7", about 200 pounds. You should be drinking about 200 ounces of water. First winter homeless. If you're homeless, what the fuck are you doing watching videos? I'm sorry. Like I like unless you are living off grid homeless, like in the woods, like maybe focus. Like you don't need to be watching me. You need to be fucking getting your shit together. You know. And I'm not saying that it was your fault that you are, but I got to be real. You should I gotta be real. You should absolutely 100 fucking percent. Be focused on that because you're worried about health. Living on the streets is not healthy. So I hope everybody has a great day. And Urban, that's not to insult you, but your time is better spent not watching me. That's for sure. All right. So I hope everybody has a great goddamn day. Hope to see you soon. Bye.